Tinubu, in conjunction with his son, Wike, they are maltreating us. They went to bring a Wike or Calabar man, a retired man, to come and begin to frustrate us, begin to press us the way we don't like. So whatever the Bible says, whatever you sow, you will reap. If Tinubu doesn't reap this matter, his son, Sheyi, will reap. They will surely reap it. They have brought our anger out. They have brought us to dislike him. We voted for him. As peace-loving people, Wike brought his say, vote for Tinubu, we voted. Vote for Sim, we voted. What has Sim done? What has Sim done? Let him come. They say betrayal. Who betrays more than Wike? Who is a betrayal more than Wike? For goodness sake, don't speak aloud. Who betrays? So, Wike, I have called him more than 3 times. He will reap what he has sown in this body. They should bring him back. The man didn't do them anything. It is out of hatred. And to share our dividends, Rivers people money. No, he has done them nothing wrong. Federal government bring back our governor, our God-sent governor, our son, Simnalaim Fubara. Let them bring him back.
When Tinubu made the announcement of the state of emergency in Rivers State and the subsequent removal of Similaye Fubara, his deputy Ngozi Odo, he said it was due to the political crisis in Rivers State and the bombing of oil facilities by militant group in the Niger Delta. Bola Tinubu went ahead to blame Similaye Fubara for his inability to safeguard oil facilities in Rivers State. But however, it is the job of the president to provide security to every part of Nigeria. Yes, security is in the exclusive list of the federal government. Anywhere there is breach of security in Nigeria, the government ought to be blamed for that. But let's leave Rivers State for instance and go to Benue State and Plateau State. Over the week, we've been hearing of terrorist attacks in Plateau and Benue State that has led to the death of hundreds of innocent Nigerians. Not only were they killed, their properties, their homeland, their ancestral homes were destroyed by these Fulani herdsmen masquerading as terrorists. The president, again in his way of avoiding responsibility, has tasked the governor of Plateau State to provide security in Plateau State. In our own eyes, Tinubu is trying to change the fact that it is not the responsibility of the federal government to provide security to Nigerians. He wants everyone to understand that it is the responsibility of the state government, whereas it is the federal government that appoints the Inspector General of Police. It is the federal government that called a shot to anything that has to do with deployment of security personnel in Nigeria. The Constitution mandated the president to declare a state of emergency in any part of the country that is experiencing unrest, that is experiencing bloodbath. Plateau and Benue State are 2 states that are currently experiencing bloodbath. Innocent Nigerians are being massacred like fowl in this state. Why hasn't the president declared a state of emergency? If the president is concerned about the safety of Nigerians, Benue and Plateau State ought to have experienced a state of emergency. The governors in those states ought to have been removed and a sole administrator appointed, not in Rivers State. Rivers State is just experiencing a political crisis. There was no bloodbath, there was no killing, there was no unrest in Rivers State. But the president moved fast to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. Not just declaring a state of emergency in Rivers State, he went out of his constitutional line to remove Similaye Fubara, an elected governor, and his deputy Ngozi Odo, and all the elected House of Assembly members in Rivers State. To the president, he wanted to restore calm and normalcy in Rivers State. But ever since that incident was done, Rivers State has never known peace. There have been protests upon protests in Rivers State. Women, men, children in their numbers, they've always stormed the streets of Rivers State, demanding that the president should release Similaye Fubara and allow him to come back. Of course, we know that there are those that have been protesting in support of Tinubu and Wike, but in all of this is vested interest. It all shows that the president has vested interest in Rivers State, and the vested interest is all about 2027. To control the resources of Rivers State ahead of 2027, to control the structure of Rivers State ahead of 2027. Bola Tinubu did not win Rivers State. Mr. P2B won Rivers State. But the then governor of Rivers State, Wike, rigged Rivers State in favor of Bola Tinubu. Rigging Rivers State for Bola Tinubu also aided him in snatching the presidency. Without rigging Rivers State for Bola Tinubu, it would have been very difficult to rig that election for him when he has lost in Kano, Kaduna, and Lagos State. Wike is no longer a governor in Rivers State, so it will be very difficult for Rivers State to be rigged in favor of Bola Tinubu in 2027. That is the reason why he is working ahead of time, to ensure that he grabs the structure of Rivers State so that votes will be allocated to him in 2027. So all of this thing happening in Rivers State is not even about making Rivers State safe. It's not even about safeguarding the people of Rivers State. It's not even about the benefit of the people in the Rivers State. It is all about 2027 presidential election. Because of election, Rivers State, an oil-rich state, a state that is very crucial to the economy of this country, is in jeopardy, is in crisis, is in turmoil. Aside trying to gain control of the resources and the structure of Rivers State, Bola Tinubu is simply trying to put fear in the mind of the governors. He's simply trying to tell them, if you don't support me ahead of the 2027 presidential election, I will suspend you and all the elected officials in your state, and of course nothing will be done about it. The National Assembly will support me. The Supreme Court will support me. And I think this signal is what has been going around. That is the reason why you're seeing PDP, a major opposition party in Nigeria, is aligning with the president. The PDP, they are saying that we are not going to go into any coalition with any opposition party in order to unseat Bola Tinubu in 2027. PDP cannot win an election against Bola Tinubu. PDP is in tatters. They need a coalition, but they are simply saying that we are not going to go into a coalition. Just last week, the governor of Akwa Ibom State was openly campaigning for Bola Tinubu, a PDP governor campaigning for an APC president. Of course, we're in democracy. Everyone is free to support whoever they want to support. But to what end? Why are you campaigning for Bola Tinubu? Why do you want Bola Tinubu to continue beyond 2027? What has Bola Tinubu done so far to warrant him to continue beyond 2027? Bola Tinubu has not done anything he promised Nigerians he was going to do. Bola Tinubu has not added any significant improvement to the life of Nigerians. He has done worse than his predecessor. Nigerians are experiencing the most excruciating pain in the history of this country. Inflation has gone over the roof. The price of commodities in the market has skyrocketed. Insecurity is rocking every part of this country. The National Security Advisor to President Bola Tinubu just admitted that they inherited a bad government from President Muhammadu Buhari. So what exactly are you campaigning for Bola Tinubu to continue beyond 2027 for? What exactly will Bola Tinubu do beyond 2027 that he cannot do now so that Nigerians can feel the benefit of his government? Absolutely nothing. Everyone coming out to campaign for Bola Tinubu, including your governors, is just all about consolidating power. It's just all about having access to the nation's resources. They don't care about you. They are not suffering the brunt. They are not suffering the hardship. They are not suffering the inflation. They are not suffering the pains. You are the ones that are suffering the pains, the brunt of this maladministration of Bola Tinubu. Are you going to join them in supporting Bola Tinubu? Are you going to join them in campaigning for Bola Tinubu? Remember, if you join them in campaigning for Bola Tinubu, you are campaigning for a prolonged inflation. You are campaigning for a prolonged hardship. You are campaigning for a prolonged pains that you have been going through ever since APC took over power. You are campaigning for prolonged insecurity. Enough is enough. We cannot continue like this. It's high time we all come together and ensure that we elect someone that cares for this country. We have not had a president that cares for this country. We've not had a president that is willing to sacrifice all to ensure that things work for this country. We just have presidents that are doing trial and error, who just want to answer GCFR, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who just want to have access to the nation's resources. We've not had a president that we care for the less privileged, a president that we care for the downtrodden, a president that we care for Nigerians, a president that will create an enabling environment to ensure that businesses and whatever we are doing in this country thrive, a president that will protect the life and properties of Nigerians. So we must ensure that in 2027 we elect someone that has the willpower, that has the willingness to do the right thing for this country. This country has bled enough. It is enough. It's time for us to stop that bleeding. And the only way for us to stop that bleeding is to chase APC out of power. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.